Come with me and be my wife.
We suspect your wife is a German spy.
You'll be hanged.
The story plunges us straight into 1942, the brutal heart of the Second World War. We witness a British intelligence officer, Max, dropping from the sky via parachute. His drop zone? The desolate French Morocco desert. Max has arrived in Casablanca City with one devastating objective: to assassinate a German ambassador. Suddenly, a car appears, racing toward him from the desert's distant horizon. Max, ever the professional, becomes instantly alert, driving cautiously but ready for anything. When the vehicle finally halts nearby, he discovers a driver sent to intercept and transport him. Max slides inside the car and immediately notices a crucial detail: a discreet suitcase waiting on the back seat. Inside this kit were fake documents, carefully arranged clothes, necessary weapons, and local currency. The driver then hands Max a simple ring and reveals the critical password: his wife will be wearing a purple dress. He adds a crucial clue, referring to her as a hummingbird. Max secures the ring onto his finger. From this exchange, we instantly grasp that Max is not undertaking this perilous mission alone. A female partner is already in place. The car quickly deposits Max in Casablanca City, where the driver hands over the key to a separate getaway vehicle and promptly departs. Max, now sharply dressed in a suit, arrives at a sophisticated hotel, a venue teeming with German officers enjoying their evening. Max's gaze locks onto a chair subtly marked with the hummingbird sign. Seated there, exactly as instructed, is a stunning girl in a purple dress. As soon as she sees Max turn, she runs to him and passionately embraces him. She introduces Max to her unsuspecting German acquaintances, smoothly lying that Max is her husband, a man who works at a Parisian mining company. But remember, this entire domestic facade is merely part of the larger mission, designed specifically to prevent any suspicion from arising. The operative, Marion, escorts Max back to the apartment she had already secured. She briefs him that the party where the German ambassador is slated to appear is only 10 days away. "I will procure the invitation for you," she assures him. "You must handle the rest of the operation." Later, when the question of where they will sleep arises, Max volunteers to take the sofa. Marion dismisses this, telling him instead to sleep on the roof. She cleverly explains that after a romantic interlude with his wife in Casablanca City, local husbands are often expected to sleep on the roof. Max takes her advice and goes to sleep up on the roof. A short while later, Marion appears with a lantern. She reveals that their nosy neighbors are actually observing them at this very moment. "If I hadn't joined you on the roof," she says, "they absolutely would have grown suspicious of our relationship." The two sit closely and share a tense conversation. Eventually, Marion descends from the roof. The next morning, the couple dresses and heads to a restaurant for coffee. Max spots a German officer seated directly behind him. This man appears to have recognized or become suspicious of them. When the officer heads inside to make a report, Max stealthily follows him. Before the German officer can alert anyone, Max strangles him, killing him instantly. He stages the death by forcing a piece of food down the man's throat, ensuring the Germans will believe his demise was an accidental choking. They both immediately vacate the premises. That evening, back on the roof, Max asks Marion about her previous London mission. She confesses that the V section of the mission offered her zero support. "I was forced to run to save my life," she admits. The following morning, they both arrive at the German embassy, where Marion manages to arrange a crucial meeting for Max. The German ambassador is already familiar with Max's background. He challenges Max, "If you defeat me at poker, you earn your invitation to tomorrow's party." The truth is, the ambassador is simply an avid poker player himself. The two play a game, and Max secures the victory. The German ambassador then extends the formal invitation to the party. However, the German officer, impressed by Max's playing skills, doesn't truly believe Max is just a phosphate mining employee. To verify Max's cover, he demands Max recite a chemical formula for phosphate. Max, having prepared meticulously, knows the formula and recites it perfectly. After this close call, they return to their apartment and immediately begin preparing for the next day's operation. But by this point, the mission's boundary has blurred. They have genuinely started to fall for each other. With only one day remaining to execute the mission, Marion is visibly anxious. She knows that if this high-stakes operation fails for any reason, their survival chances are slim. To steal a few moments of peace, they drive out to the desert and watch the stunning sunrise together. Suddenly, a fierce sandstorm erupts. They retreat into the car to shelter, and in that intimate, intense moment, they make love. The mission proceeds as planned. Fully prepared, they attend the party that evening, which is filled with all the most powerful German officers. As everyone anticipates the German ambassador's arrival, Max and Marion position themselves near the specific table where their weapons are stashed. At the appointed time, the ambassador enters and begins his speech. Suddenly, a massive explosion rocks the building's exterior. The sound sends everyone into a panic. Max and Marion seize their moment. They pull out the guns from beneath the table and shoot the ambassador. He dies instantly right there on the spot. Furthermore, they efficiently eliminate all the German soldiers present inside this building. Having successfully executed their primary target, they both escape the building. Their daring mission is a total success. Overwhelmed with genuine affection, Max proposes marriage to Marion and asks her to move with him to London. The narrative then jumps ahead by 3 weeks. Max reports to his office after the mission's completion. His senior officer, Frank, grants Marion permission to enter England. However, Frank gives Max a warning, like a true friend, that he is acting stupidly. Relationships formed on the mission never succeed in real life, he cautions. Max disregards this advice and leaves the office. Max and Marion proceed to get married. It's then that Max learns the truly incredible news: Marion is pregnant. Many months pass, and Marion is rushed to the hospital with liver pain. But suddenly, the city is hit by an attack. In this unexpected bombing raid, the entire hospital is devastated. Doctors are forced to deliver the baby right there on the road. Marion gives birth to a beautiful daughter. 1 year later, their married life appears to be picture perfect. Max, however, remains constantly busy due to the demands of his job. One day, Marion hosts a party at home, inviting all of their acquaintances. During the festivities, Max receives a chilling call from British intelligence, informing him that the V section urgently needs to speak with him. Max immediately heads to the headquarters. There, he is delivered the shock of his life. His wife is allegedly a German spy. Max believes this must be a sick joke. But the officer explains that for the last 7 days, they have intercepted coded messages. These messages, containing highly confidential information, are being sent from London to Berlin via a WT transcriber. Crucially, the signal's origin point has been traced directly to Max's home. Max remains unconvinced that the officer's claim is true. The officer then produces devastating documents. He reveals that the real Marion, the one sent on the Paris mission, was captured and killed in 1941 while carrying her communication equipment. Following her death, the identity of Marion was given to a German spy who happened to have a nose similar to Marion's. This imposter was sent to Casablanca, a place where absolutely no one knew her true identity. He even explains that the German ambassador they killed was actually someone Hitler himself wanted dead. Max is still defiant, refusing to believe the officer's words. He insists, repeatedly, that his wife is definitely not a German spy. The officer then gives Max a new, final mission. He instructs Max that exactly at 7 minutes past 11 o'clock tonight, he will receive a phone call. The secret message he receives on the phone must be written down in a location where his wife can read it with ease. The officer emphasizes that this information will be entirely false. However, Max must present it as highly secret information. Your wife will attempt to pass that message on, the officer explains. By tomorrow afternoon, our spies will determine exactly which messages have left London. If this false information is included in those outgoing messages, then the truth will be known for certain. If it is irrefutably proven that his wife is a German spy, Max is ordered to execute her himself. If he fails to carry out this order, he will be hanged as a convicted traitor. Max stumbles out of the room, the clear signs of deep worry etched into his face. When he returns home that day, he is completely altered. He can't fathom how he should interact with his own wife. Marion, looking at his troubled face, instantly knows that something is terribly wrong. Later, when he is trying to sleep, the phone rings precisely at 7 minutes past 11 o'clock. Max receives the message, writes it down on a piece of paper, and leaves it on the table. He then feigns sleep. The next morning, he dons his uniform and leaves the house. But his destination is not the office. He heads to a church. There, he meets a retired officer named Guy. Guy had met Marion back in 1941, and she had assisted this officer in escaping France. Max shows Guy a photograph of his wife. Tragically, the Germans had brutally blinded both of Guy's eyes, meaning he cannot confirm Marion's identity. Before Max leaves, Guy suggests meeting another agent named Paul, who might be able to confirm Marion's identity. Max immediately goes to the runway and locates a pilot. He quickly writes a message on the back of Marion's photo. Giving it to the pilot, Max instructs him to give it to Paul and to request only a yes or no answer. He returns home where Marion has already started the party. Everyone is enjoying the festivities. Max's friend, Frank, is also in attendance. Frank breaks the news that the pilot Max sent to meet Paul has been killed. Max then spots Marion speaking privately with a stranger. The moment the stranger approaches Max, he quickly attempts to leave. Max pursues him, stopping and questioning him. The man claims to be a jeweler who was attempting to sell a necklace to Marion. Suddenly, a siren blares. It is announced that the Germans have attacked East London. The house lights are immediately switched off, and everyone scrambles to find a hiding place. A German fighter plane crashes and explodes terrifyingly close to Max's house. Thankfully, his family is safe. Marion suggests that tomorrow, they should ignore the war completely and spend the entire day together making wonderful memories with their daughter, Anna. Max agrees and spends the whole day with his family. But Max's agonizing question remains unsolved. He is compelled to prove his wife's innocence. He puts on his uniform, takes a picture of Marion without her knowledge, and leaves the house. Max reaches the runway and prepares a plane for flight. His desperate goal is to meet the one man who can confirm his wife's identity. He arrives at the location and speaks with some local people, asking them about Paul. They tell him Paul is currently in jail because the local police arrested him for public drunkenness. Max is determined to meet Paul regardless. He and his companions drive to the police station, where Max forces the guard at gunpoint to let him see Paul. Paul, unfortunately, is still heavily intoxicated. Max shows him Marion's picture, asking if this is the Marion he knows. Paul, with great effort, confirms that she is the one. When I first encountered Marion at a cafe, he recalls, there were many Germans present there. That cafe also had a piano. She walked right over to it and began playing the French national anthem right in front of the Germans. The mention of the piano frightens Max. He has never once seen Marion play the piano. Before Paul can answer further questions, German soldiers arrive. Max and his friends open fire and start running. As the Germans pursue them, Max destroys their armored car with a grenade and shoots the injured remaining soldiers. The next morning, Marion awakens to find Max sitting before her. His breathing is ragged. Clearly, something is very wrong. He takes Marion to a nearby cafe. Max delivers the heart-stopping demand, "I want you to play the piano for me. Play the national anthem you performed in that cafe in 1941. Marion's hands and feet begin to tremble. She cannot play the piano. Marion finally confesses the devastating truth. She is not the real Marion. She was indeed a German agent. But when she met Max in Casablanca, she genuinely fell in love with him. She explains that after her original mission was accomplished, she broke off contact with the Germans and came to London with Max. However, the Germans tracked her down even there and started threatening to kill Anna, their daughter. Marion feared that if the truth came out, Max would never forgive her, and their daughter would be irreparably damaged. The Germans exploited this terrible helplessness. Max asks the final, crucial question, "Did you send the message?" Marion simply replies, "Yes." Max urgently states, "We must flee this place or the V section will order me to kill you. If I refuse that order, they will execute both of us." Marion insists, "We have to rescue Anna first." Marion identifies all the German spies present, and Max systematically shoots them one by one. He then drives to the airbase with Marion and their daughter Anna, intending to escape by flying away in a plane. As he attempts to start the aircraft, the engine sputters due to a technical malfunction. Marion sees approaching cars and understands they have no chance of escaping now. Max's senior officer and friend, Frank, drives his car in front of the plane. "The game is finished, Max," he states. "It would be prudent for you to surrender." Max desperately tells him he has already killed all the German agents and tries to convince Frank that Marion is innocent, arguing she was being ruthlessly trapped. Frank ignores him, repeating, "Marion is a German spy." Marion carefully straps Anna into the car and steps out. She tells Max, "I have always loved you. You must take good care of our daughter." She then shoots herself with Max's gun. Watching this unimaginable act, it feels as if the ground has dissolved beneath Max's feet, as if his entire world was destroyed in that single, devastating moment. He collapses next to Marion, sobbing uncontrollably, drowned in an ocean of profound grief. Frank intervenes, stopping the other officers. He orders them to falsely report that Max killed the enemy spy with his own hands. With that cover-up, the scene fades out. The final sequence of the movie reveals that Marion knew her death was inevitable. Before leaving, she had written a letter to her daughter, Anna. The letter reads, "Dear Anna, if you are reading this letter, then you do not know me at all. You will have absolutely no memories of me. I am your mother. Max is my true love and you are my whole world. I pray that you can forgive me." Many years later, Max is shown. He abandons everything and moves to Madison Hat, starting a quiet new life with his daughter Anna. And with this tragic resolution, this movie concludes. Did this story of love and espionage shock you? If you're a fan of thrillers, smash the like button and subscribe to Cinemaned for more insane movie breakdowns.